If you're wanting a black female-led superhero film, then look no further than this movie, Harriet. Let me explain. Welcome to the objective review of Harriet. And in objective review, I break a movie down into 6 categories, assigning weights to them depending on the genre to have the most honest, unbiased, objective review as possible. So let's get started with the first category of story.
There's not much time. You got to be miles away from here before dawn. Where is she? Follow that North Star.
The story follows the extraordinary tale of Harriet Tubman. If you don't know who she is, please go pick up a history book and find out that she's an extraordinary person in United States history. Just so fascinating on so many different levels. I didn't learn that many new facts about Harriet Tubman in this film, but the movie does provide a lot more context around these facts. For instance, I already knew that she fought her way out of slavery. I already knew that she saved hundreds of slaves. I knew that she was in the Civil War. I knew that she was known as the Black Moses. I knew that she had visions, but there's a lot more context around that that really informs the film and really informs the person that is Harriet Tubman. And on the note of being Black Moses, it takes us to a whole new level because this movie feels like a very religious movie. This is probably the most religious Christian movie that I've watched. It was actually good. I really don't like Christian movies, even though I am a Christian. I love movies, but Christian movies aren't usually that good, and I tend to avoid them. Sorry, pastors or whoever may be watching this. But Harriet in this movie is sort of portrayed as a religious figure, as a Moses that she is called. In these visions she gets, she sees and interprets messages from God, and the way this film depicts her is that, he is leading her, and through the word that she gets from God, she's leading all of these people from freedom. I hope it's true. I hope this movie isn't fabricating some of this or embellishing on it, because it's a really, really neat aspect of Harriet Tubman. And like I said before, this is a superhero film. It's a superhero origin film. You see how she started off as a slave. You see how she wanted to fight for freedom, wanted to finally say enough is enough, I'm going to escape. And you see her grow from this more timid 5-foot unimposing figure, and layer by layer her legends just starts to grow. I mean, there's alter egos in here, there's secret identities. Her original name was Minty Tubman, but when she freed herself, she took on the new name of Harriet Tubman. Then there's the Moses alter ego, right? And Moses feels like, the superhero, like there's legends of Moses. But I really enjoyed some of the deeper meanings in here. Really, because I'm a Christian, I think I took away a lot of meaning of like, God will send you a message. It might not be the message that you thought that you wanted, but if you, interpret it the right way and look at things on a different point of view or a different bright side, you can make, something out of a difficult predicament. You can turn something around on its head. God will never give you anything that you can't handle. Also, there's a big, huge theme of helping others. And not only that, but, helping yourself. And once you get yourself in a certain position, reach back and pull someone along with you. And, if you continue to do that, society will be even better. The story gets a 10 out of 10. That's on to emotion.
I don't know if you know how extraordinary this is, but you have made it 100 miles to freedom all by yourself.
Weirdly enough, I didn't get very emotional in a single scene, but there was just a very constant feeling of emotional engagement. I mean, that's because, the story of Harriet Tubman is just so awe-inspiring that you're kind of just stuck staring at the screen, just being inspired by what's going on. So emotion gets an 8 out of 10. That's on to action.
Fear is your enemy. Whoa, easy now.
I'm gonna be free or die.
Surprisingly enough, there wasn't as much action in this film that I thought there were going to be, because I thought they were going to cover her years in the Civil War a little bit more, especially from the trailer. But nonetheless, there were still some really intense scenes, or really some intense chase scenes that just really built a lot of tension. And that's what I look for in action scenes. It isn't always just about the punchy, crashy type of stuff. It's about building that suspense and movement and emotion. But action gets a 7 out of 10. Next is on to comedy.
Papers. Says here you're 5.5 feet tall. You ain't more than 5 feet.
Must have won my high boots that day.
There was like some weird comedy in this film that I'm not sure was purposely done, especially with Harriet Tubman's father. I didn't really laugh in any of these moments, but he was surprisingly comedic. Like, people in the movie theater laughed at it. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you see the film, but I don't think they were meant to be funny. So comedy gets a 6.5 out of 10. That's on to acting.
I would give every last drop of blood in my veins until this monster called slavery is dead.
The actress who played Harriet Tubman did a very fine job. I'm not sure if it is Oscar worthy, but it's worthy enough to get nominated for an Oscar. But I think she did a really good job just showing that growth of Harriet Tubman. Like, she starts off being a little bit more timid, and then she starts to kind of build on that. You can actually see it, and I think in her movement, in her stance, just in her gesturing. So a really great job there, and everyone else did a fine enough job. So acting gets an 8.5 out of 10. That's on to directing.
Ready?
This movie was fairly slow paced in the first, I think, hour. Like, I was waiting for it to pick up. Maybe because I was waiting for it to pick up because I already know what's happening. Like, I was just waiting for, like, all right, let's just hurry up and get to where she freed herself. But looking back on it, I think they did a lot of that just to kind of build up the story more, because a lot of the story does involve, where Harriet came from. Those people in her life come back in her life in certain ways. I would say that the cinematography and the score was fairly uninspiring, but the production here did a fine enough job. It gets a 7 out of 10. That brings our weighted average score to an 8.4 out of 10. So really good film. It's really something I think should be shown to many kids, probably ages 10 and up. It's PG-13, but it's very educational. And of course, Harriet Tubman is honestly one of the most extraordinary figures in US history. So you need to get on that 20 real quick. Anyway, all right, let me know what you thought about the film. Comment below, and if you like this video, please like, comment, share, and consider subscribing. And sincerely, thank you for watching. I'm out.